up, cyberspace cadet, cyber fanbots everywhere? I see you all. It's all right, prostate. It's Sunday. You know what that means? It's time for some ice cream. And people ask me, why do you call it ice cream, man? Why do you call it ice cream? Well, I call it ice cream because I love talking to people. And that makes talking to people a treat for me, especially people that like I'm interested in or that I know some stuff about, that I want to know more about, you know. Just people fascinate me. They always have and they always will. And so this show is dedicated to that and the art of the conversation, I would say. Today's guest has been around forever. Ever since I can remember, like hanging out in the nights, Lords of the Nights chat. I remember seeing Gunfox's name up in there, and so today's guest is none other than the one and only Gunfox. It's been I should have asked you a lot earlier than this, and I don't know why I didn't. So I have no answer. I have no good answer for that. But before the show, yeah. Well, I was going to say just before the show, there was some technical difficulties I ran into, and it's like I'm firing it up, and it's like it's not working, man. So yeah, but I got it smoothed out. So everybody's on. This is on YouTube only. So thanks for the spanner. You're indeed welcome, Object to Hate. I'm going to say Original Asherella, of course, Gunfox, FTW Nil, my man. What up? Madness, greetings. Joshua Demers, Beck Fairley, Uz Q, Admantine, boom. Who else did I see? I think that's it. Okay, so far so good. All right, we got everybody. And Lindsay, bringing up this is like batting cleanup, as we say. So how are you doing, Gunny? Sorry about that, brother.
No problem.
I was a little knocked out of my groove by that shit, man. You know, it's like curveball. You got to hit him. You either hit him or swing. Keep swinging. It's what I did. So finally, something made something happen.
I've been picking on that guy. There's like 10 or so snake pictures in her Discord.
Oh yeah, the old Becca snake pics, man. And she loves those things. Everybody, if you know Becca fairly, DM her as many snake pictures as you can because she is obsessed with snakes. And that's an accurate statement, actually. So anyway, all right. So Gunny, man, kind of how this thing works. I've seen you in several chats on this deal. I've got some questions. We'll start at YouTube, and we'll kind of talk about you, and then come back when we're back on the other side. We'll be talking about YouTube again. How's that sound, man?
All right, enough for me.
Good deal. All right. So my question. All right. So the first question is, how long have you been around YouTube, and what was the main reason you decided using YouTube as media?
I started YouTube in 2007, and it was originally for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I would post Let's Play Battlefield 2142, Battlefield Bad Company, and a couple of other games. World in Conflict, I was big in World in Conflict. The 6 guys that I actually played with, Point Man, Blatty, Logic, and a couple others, we were actually ranked first in the world in World in Conflict for our different roles. So that's what I mainly did, is World in Conflict for a year, and then we went to Battlefield. But that's how I got started.
Right, yeah. So and you met like a lot of those early chat rats there, huh? The Randy Monkey thing. And it was, and then it became Monkey Scribe, and then it was Satsu for a little bit, and it was SDA, and then it was Satsu again. Yeah, Sinatra popped in there. Yep. All right. What made, all right. So I content wise, you're really not producing content on YouTube, are you?
Not right now because I can't.
Right.
It's kind of hard to produce content when you just have a phone.
No shit. I totally know what that's like, man.
Unfortunately, it was 2 years ago. The place I was staying at got a lightning strike and it fried my gaming computer. So unfortunately, that's when I had no gaming computer.
No, Daddy, no. It's like, God, I bet that hurt. I bet that hurt.
I had that gaming computer. It was an i4790K, a Titan Black. I mean, it was 6 years old, but I got it in 2012 to play Star Citizen, and it was a great computer. And it lasted 6 years.
Wow. Without needing upgrades.
No, there wasn't any upgrades to it.
That's crazy. That's good life, I think, for a gaming computer. I don't know. Who am I?
Normally gaming, because a lot of people overclock gaming computers, they don't last as long. You may get a couple, maybe 2 or 3 years from them off them, and then you're upgrading. I never overclocked mine. I left it at factory specs, and I took care of it. So, I mean, it was just the unfortunate thing of lightning strike.
That's terrible. That sucks, man. So, all right. So, when did you get the idea to like start like, cause I mean, it's like everybody that pretty much reads news in this corner of the, interwebs will, inevitably, hear something that that Gunfox has given somebody. All right. Cause this dude is insane. He's like, I mean, he keeps dropping shit. He was dropping shit before the show, man. It's like, he is on it. How do you do that, man? I just
mainly it's to keep my brain active.
Yeah.
And right now I'm not working right now because of a injury at work. I'm going to be off for a little while. So I just go through the news. I'm not hounding my wife, and my wife is losing her mind. I mean, she's like already saying, I wish you would get back to work because you drive me up a wall. I'll drop myself up a wall too. So
I understand. I totally get that, dude.
But yeah, I mean,
I totally understand. I mean, I identify, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to read that as a dig. What? Oh, yo. All right. So, what's your favorite source for news while we're on the news thing?
Favorite source for news? I do a lot of NTD. I do a lot of BBC, Drudge Report. I do some Fox News, some CNN, some MSNBC, just for the, as I call it, the spiciness, the spicy news, the ranting news. I call ranting spicy. Now I do from time to time find some actual spicy news, which I'm pretty sure you have seen in your Discord a couple times.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
May not be safe for work, but every once in a while you do find that, and so I go through a lot of different news, and a lot of the news I see is just mundane, boring news. It's like, okay, just your average daily news of just nothing. It's just filler news. So sometimes I add that just to, if it's a slow news day, I add filler news. But this administration is giving me all kinds of good stuff.
No shit. It just keeps coming, doesn't it, man? Holy Lord, man. Oh, what about the Sky News Australia? Are you a fan of theirs?
I do get them. I do try to get to them, but by the time I actually am able to get to them, I'm already looking at like 50, 60, 70 news links that I already dropped.
So they drop shit like in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. They're dropping shit because they're they're going live and stuff. And they got yeeted off of YouTube, not YouTube, off of Twitter, boo boo.
Oh yeah.
Or no, they got yeeted off of YouTube. That's right. Yesterday. She's right.
They got yeeted off. They got yeeted off of Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
Damn. That just sucks, man. Because they're one of the best news sources I think on, currently existing, because they're so anti-China, which is and there's no secret as to why they got yeeted, y'all. It's because they are anti-China and they're really digging and getting a lot of news on the coof. So there's that.
Well, they're anti-global homo. They're not. They don't freely take the global cock.
Exactly, the globalist thing. Oh, before we get really going here, remember, if you've got any questions for Gunny, please jot them down. Object of Hate he said he's going to have to scoot in a minute, so he already pre-sent me his questions. I'll have those ready. Jot them down, and then at the end, I'll open up a slot so you guys can ask your questions. And on that, I just wanted to, before we get into there, get into the personal stuff. Is there a food from your childhood that you hated as a child that you really like now?
No. I can say no.
Yeah.
I don't really eat healthy as much as I should. But,
I feel you. All right. So, who was the most influential person from your life as a child? Childhood.
Ronald Reagan.
Interesting. And what was it like being a kid? How would you identify? How would you describe your family? Well,
we're a bunch of farmers, so conservative leaning, small government. You live me alone, I'll live you alone. That kind of thing.
So your whole family are like philosophically leaning that way?
Not really. There's some hard left-leaning people in my family, unfortunately, that believe everything that some news science says. But what can you do?
Indeed. What's the old saying? You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family, or something stupid like that. All right. So, how many kids were you in the birth order there, and where are you in that order?
We have 2. We're working on the 3rd.
Okay. What about? You personally?
I only have the 3 with my wife.
Okay. And do you have a favorite holiday or time of year that or season that has special meaning for you, that puts you in a positive spirit?
4th of July.
Yeah.
I'm back to 4th of July. For a while, I hated 4th of July. Not because of the day, but because of the fireworks.
You want to go into that a little bit?
It was from Iraq. We were constantly getting RPG'd, bombed, mortars coming in. So it was that, and it would bring back flashbacks.
Right.
So, and those poppers, to me, it would sound like gunfire, and I'm hitting the ground. It's like,
right. So does that still happen now?
No, I'm getting better.
Good.
Like every once in a while, I'll have like a little bit of flashback there and there. 2004 was not a good year, especially for truck drivers. The Ahmadi Army was some really bad apples. So, yeah, we got into a lot of firefights.
IEDs and shit, man.
IEDs,
I said
arms fire.
I said IED. I'm sorry, IED. That's right.
Improvised explosive device.
Not intrauterine device.
Yeah. What they would do is they would daisy chain 155 rounds with deck cord and C4 in a long line. And sometimes they would target the troops. Sometimes they would target the civilian population that was behind that was behind the convoys. So that was it was a terror tactic.
Right. So do you want to just go ahead and just talk about your history in the military? And
I joined in 2002. I went to basic, AIT, all that stuff. And then I was stationed in Hawaii. You either love Hawaii or you hate Hawaii. I didn't like Hawaii. So
what branch of the government? What branch of the military were you in?
U.S. Army, best branch in the Army. Best branch in the military is U.S. Army.
Got you. All right.
Not the chair force, not the jarheads, not the squids, not the coasties. not the fake force.
I got you. All right, so keep talking. All right, so you end up in Hawaii, a place that sucks for RA people, regular Army.
Yeah, I mean I'm not saying Hawaii sucks. Some people love it, some people don't. I didn't like it because I didn't have the room. And when I mean room, I mean like hundreds of miles. I need my space, you know. Mm-hmm. I like to be able to drive 6-7 hours. Sometimes go out. I used to go out for drives. In Hawaii, I couldn't. I went through medical training in Hawaii. I took EMT courses, and then I was able to get. I was really good at my job. The coolest thing I ever got to haul was the 16-inch barrel off the USS Missouri.
Wow.
Yep. The second coolest thing I got to haul was a Moab, mother of all bombs.
Oh shit, man! So what were you driving, man?
I was driving. I drove a bunch of different things, from a little race car, which is a Humvee.
Right.
We call them little race cars because you could do like 90 miles an hour in them.
All ass, man. Yeah.
Yeah. All the way up to a super hat.
So what did you haul the Moab with?
That was the main body is 20 feet long and weighs about 20,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's like a big globe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 23,000 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
And we actually had 2 vehicles there. One carrying the main body, the other carrying the
fuse,
the warhead, the primer, which is in the warhead.
Right.
All because I forget what the reason was, but we had to move it from one area to another airfield, and I just happened to be in the area, so I was able to do it.
Sweet. So, all right, for the people at home that don't know what a MOAB is, that's the nickname for what's called the mother of all bombs. What's the official name of it?
Mass ordnance device or something like that.
Yeah, mass ordnance device. It's what I call an oxygen sucker. It's designed to.
It's the largest non-nuclear bomb in the world.
It will fuck shit up.
Oh, yep. So far, only one has been dropped in combat.
Yeah. It's the GBU 43B. Thank you, Ob. God damn, he's like a fucking computer over there, just throwing this stuff up. He loves to talk about this shit too. All right, so kind of bouncing back and forth. Okay, if you could go back in time and talk to yourself at the age of 8, what would you tell little Gunny?
Run for the ditch, not the run for the ditch, not the bunker.
Gotcha. Let's see. All right, so when did you get deployed?
December 03.
Okay.
Like near Christmas.
How many tours did you do?
Sadly, only did one.
Right. Sound like one long and hard one to me.
13 months.
With just nothing but shit.
Yeah, I got some extra pieces in my leg too. My shoulder, my hip's all screwed up. My knee's all screwed up.
I didn't know you got hit. See, nobody told me. What happened there? Talk about that story. Shit.
Me and a specialist from the 65th California National Guard. It was a slow day at FOB Kalzu, which is in Iraq. Was in Iraq, now I guess has been turned over to the
locals.
Yeah. So we were sitting around playing games because there was nothing really going on. And the roads were black, so it's like, well, shoot, we got nothing to do. So we were helping move some equipment around with our vehicles, and there was nothing to do. I mean, the roads were black for about 3 or 4 days. So we got done playing Halo, and we were on our way to get some chow. We were walking. There's a road that went from north to south called IED Mortar Alley, and there was another road that went from east to west that was called RPG Alley, and right in the intersection is the DFACT. So we were, and
so basically that's like a kill box, right? Yeah. So, all right, keep going, bro.
Well, the first one hit. It was a mortar attack. The first one hit at the far side, the northern side of the road. Boom! First one hit. We stopped dead. It was like, oh crap! And there's a ditch that runs along the road, north to south. And my gut told me, jump in that thing. Just jump in it. It's filled with water. Just jump in that and bury yourself deep. Well, the other guy took off. It's like, well, shit. And another one hits. Wham! Now they're starting to really come in. I mean, it's like full on. We got mortared 4 times a day. 4 times a day.
Jesus.
Well, one of our trucks was sitting by the defect. Boom! That thing went up. I mean, there was AT4s, javelins. We took the Martin. We took a lot of that stuff out and put it in our tent. But there was still some stuff in there, and it was combat locked. Well, the mortar punched right through the soft top where the gunner is. It's just like there's really not much holding it. There's really not much. It's just a canvas, and it just blew that truck completely apart. They found the cab a quarter mile away. That's the force of the explosion. It just ripped that truck to pieces, caved in half the defect. I mean, it just exploded. We slid into a bunker that was next to two 155s, Iraqi 155s, and a wall. And a mortar came in and landed basically on the other side of that concrete wall of the bunker.
Excuse me for 1 second. I need to say something. William, you can shit on me all day long, but don't shit on my guests. Fuck you. You're blocked. All right? Anywho. All right. Sorry about that, Gunny. He just pissed me off. So,
can't see the chat, so I don't know.
Hey, it's cool. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Nipped it in the bud there, brah.
And so,
all right, yeah.
I was knocked out. I came to actually when I started to remember stuff a couple hours or a couple days later. So, big lot of bandages on my shoulder and my knee. Couldn't really walk, but I could sit. So I gunned the rest of the time, which sucked. That really sucked.
God, I bet. All right, all right. So what are you in now? What are you guys? What vehicle?
The vehicle that exploded was a 1088. It's a 5-ton LMTV.
Yeah.
Bobtail.
Gotcha. So you're sitting there wounded with a gun, right? Mm-hmm. So what happens? Tell me more, man. This is great.
We would go up and we would drive up and down MSR Tampa, delivering supplies from base to base, moving vehicles with super hats, and our gun trucks were these 1088s, or sometimes they were a lot of our actual gun trucks were LMTV 1083s, I want to say, the 5-ton LMTV. I think they're 1083s. And then we had a Hemet wrecker. So we had a mix of trucks.
Nice. The Hemet. That's the biggest one, isn't it? Let's say.
No, the Hemet wrecker is it's a heavy duty wrecker. The Super Het's the biggest.
The suit, yeah. I've seen like gun trucks and stuff made from those. That's ridiculous.
Best way to describe it in 2004, Mad Max. If you see the Mad Max, that's what our gun trucks look like.
Yeah,
we Mad Maxed the shit out of them.
Well, back in Vietnam, what they were doing, and they ended up taking like M113 hulls and just putting them on the back of the truck. And but yeah, there's some incredible there's a whole subculture of military enthusiasts that are just obsessed with gun trucks because they were all unique, and they, and most of the guys that drove and lived, right? So especially the Vietnam era stuff. But yeah, that's the big one. That I can imagine that big drum. It looks like Mad Max for sure.
And it really started. We had a different concept. Our gun trucks were armored, but what we did was we used speed, and we would leave at the absolute latest possible. So we would drive at night. We were one of the first ones to drive at night, even though we weren't really supposed to. So, and we would drive with our lights on. Well, at night, you really can't tell a civilian vehicle from ICE's point of view. You can't tell if that's a civilian vehicle or a military vehicle. And what a lot of people don't realize is at nighttime, you cannot see your finger touch your nose. That's how dark it is in the desert.
Man.
I mean, if there's moon, you're going to see a little bit, but for the most of the time, you can't see the hand in front of your face. So that's why, and sometimes what we would do is we would put extra lighting, like truck lighting, on our trailers, and we would disguise as civilians.
That's smart.
Uh-huh. We weren't really hit that much at night. We never got into a firefight at night because the insurgents, they kind of wanted, at that point, they wanted locals support. They wanted the locals to support them. So they weren't really looking to get into a pissing match with the locals. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of the insurgents weren't Iraqis. They were Syrians and Iranians.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, all right. So you're not talking about Desert Storm. Somebody's asking them. Are you talking about Desert Storm?
No. This is OAF2.
Okay.
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Yeah. The second half.
Yeah.
The Electric Boogaloo. I'm sorry, man. It's a dumb internet reference. But I'm edgy, so I got to say shit like that.
Yeah. We were actually there. What's called Part 1. We were towards the end of Part 1. So I'm actually authorized to wear the Expeditionary Medal with the arrowhead. So
that's excellent.
Yeah, and I do, and a lot of guys are like, "Holy shit!" Oh, now I didn't sign up to go into Iraq. I wouldn't mind shot at the title. The title was Bin Laden. I wanted that motherfucker.
Right.
I wanted him. Unfortunately, when at that point he wasn't even in the country, and I didn't get to go to Afghanistan either, so that kind of sucked.
Right.
But to be honest, they really didn't need truck drivers in Afghanistan because it was all the terrain, and it was more of a helicopter support. It was more of a helicopter role than a truck haul for supplies. Right. Everything was pretty much done by air. Because as much as I wish I could say, trucks can't drive up those mountains.
Yeah, no shit, man. I bet. So what do they have to do, like take some Chinooks and some Blackhawks and drop people and shit up there?
Hueys. Yeah, a lot of sling loads were done in Afghanistan, from what I heard. I never was in there, so it's all speculation on my part. My detachment, we did over 1 million miles for our 8 trucks. Over 1 million miles.
Crazy.
We drove over 1 million miles collectively.
With 8 trucks. Crazy.
Yep.
That's a shitload of driving, y'all. I don't know if you understand that shit, but oh my God. 8 trucks.
And it was all flatbed, heavy haul.
I mean, that's like 125K per truck. So, I mean, that's like most cars, you know, don't get that kind of mileage on them until like, you know, 5 or 6 years. Hard driving,
yeah.
You know, some never get that high. Right?
And the longest drive we did was from Kuwait all the way up to northern Iraq. It took us 36 hours of nonstop driving because of some colonel in the Marines said he was low on medical supplies and food, which really wasn't the case, but whatever. We did it. And then he pissed us off, so we got him back. He made us move after driving 36 hours because our trucks blocked the view from his tent of the sunset.
Oh, Lord. So how did y'all pay him back, man?
Well, there was 6 Humvees, up-armored Humvees with AC units, that magically the AC units disappeared and reappeared on our trucks.
Well, how about that? Who would have thunk it? You know, it's like nobody ever think to tell the guy that, you know, why don't you just watch a Bob Ross, you know, marathon or some shit if you like sunsets. That was really unreasonable, man. God. They just do that to, you know, flop their dicks around, right? You know, that kind of shit. You know what that is, man. That's some dick flopping.
Here's another good one. We were supporting a quartermaster unit, our sister unit. A Marine Corps colonel. It's called a ropio. It's for water purification. Mm-hmm. It's on a 53-foot trailer. And he made them run from a well that had truck was damaged, and all the diesel fuel ran into the well and contaminated the well. And they said, we can't run this because there's diesel fuel in there. And he goes, well, run it anyway. And so he destroyed that ropio, which is like $1.6 million, plus all the pipes, all the pumps, and the water bags. The total was $3.6 million in equipment that's trash. Can never be used again because it was contaminated with diesel fuel.
Crazy.
Diesel fuel water mix.
You know, it's like and they told you to do it anyway, right? I mean, didn't he think?
He told them to do it. He told them to do it. So they popped on. They got a hold of us because they only used us when they needed. Otherwise, we were tasked to everyone. Kind of like back scratching.
Gotcha.
So they said, "Well, we're sending get to Anaconda because you're gonna pick up stuff." I said, "All right." They said, "Well, you're gonna be taking a trailer." So what we did was we got a forklift to lift one of our trailers on another trailer and we secured it with chains and binders,
Mm-hmm.
and then that truck hauled the trailer. And we had to take a couple other heavy stuff down there, so we threw that on the superheads.
Right.
So, which was, I mean, we drove. It was great. When I did drive, I drove the superhead a lot.
So did you like do like milk runs where you go one way and then on the way back you carry something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's called backhauling.
Backhauling, yeah. I heard there was a lot of that going on. So, but that superhead, man, that is a beast to drive. So you drove it, man?
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. That's very impressive. Because it's just a gigantic fucking truck. I don't know how else to describe it, man.
It stands 14 foot tall. It's 14 feet.
Right.
That's the clearance. You need a little over 14 foot clearance to put that in perspective.
Yeah, no shit, man. And you got to climb a little ladder to get in the damn thing. That's just crazy.
The wheels are 6 foot.
Yeah.
The wheels are about 6 foot tall.
God.
And they weigh over 1,000 pounds apiece.
Right. But, you know, you can haul an M1 with one of them motherfuckers. So, you know, an Abrams tank.
You can haul up to 210,000 pounds.
That's a lot.
On that trailer.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever do a body haul? Body bags and shit?
What's that? Body bags?
Yeah,
no, we didn't haul anything like that. We didn't haul personnel. We hauled cargo only.
Oh, that's quartermaster shit, isn't it? Really, that's what they handle that, right?
What? Body bags?
Yeah, the funerary shit. Yeah.
No, that's mortuary.
Okay, so they've got a division now. I didn't know that.
That's mortuary. They don't ground transport. They fly.
Okay.
Mortuary is all flights, and those aircraft are guarded.
I bet they are. Well, they're carrying special cargo, dude.
Yeah.
You know.
Mostly it was like the helicopters and the C-1 and the medical flights. They were actually escorted with fighter aircraft to Germany.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that those aircraft were not messing around. The civilian aircraft, they pushed them out of there. They would push them miles away from that aircraft.
That's awesome, you know, to know that people care that much.
Yep.
Kind of gives you some faith in our fellow countrymen. All right. So it's kind of all right. So getting back to I got a question sheet, a couple things, then we'll come back. What about the first time you were with a chick? What was that like?
I didn't get with any women. I mean, I wasn't active at all on that until I met my wife. It was great.
Sweet.
That was after the military. During the military, I was staying away from mostly. I mean, yeah, I looked at women. It's like, yeah, I'm a red-blooded American dude.
Right.
But business. It was all business. There was nothing really, anything there.
So it sounds like you were really imbued with a sense of purpose with your military mission. That's a very admirable thing about you, man. It's I think people take for granted, you know, a lot of times just what kind of length people have to go, like you did. for our fucking safety, so we can sleep at night and listen to fucking socialists on the goddamn news network all night.
I've been to 30 different countries and on 6 different continents.
Crazy. What's the favorite country you went to that's not U.S.?
Japan.
Yeah. What's special about Japan?
I got to actually go when the cherry blossoms were going. Oh, it was beautiful.
Oh, dude.
It was a joint training 3 weeks with the JSDF, the Japanese Self-Defense Army.
That's right.
Cool guys. Another cool group of guys were the Polish. Those guys are nuts. Cool guys are nuts.
I can imagine, man. It's historically they've had a run, man. Right? All right. So, what about the first time you got fucked up? What was that like?
Describe fucked up.
Well, anything just like sloppy drunk to high on drugs or whatever. Some people, everybody answers it differently.
I don't really I never did drugs, and I don't drink. I actually hate the taste of alcohol.
Wow. So I guess that's admirable too, man. Sounds like you live a good, clean life. Were you raised religiously?
Really? I mean, my grandfather was a Lutheran minister.
Oh wow! Okay.
He actually baptized my sister, myself, and her kids.
Awesome.
So that's what. And now he's retired. Unfortunately, he has major dementia. So unfortunately,
that's sad. So how did you meet your wife?
I knew her since high school, and well, she was she's about 10 years younger than me, and I knew her since school, and we met up at a local pizza eatery, and we got to talking, and we bonded really quick, and next thing we knew, she was pregnant. So,
hey man, it's just like a lot of people don't understand it, but when you find the one, you know it. When you know it in your, it's just there's no other feeling than that feeling, man. To be with the one you're meant to be with.
She's like, oh.
And I know I sound fucking gay and romantic and shit, and fuck you. It's like, I'm not talking to you, Gunny. I'm just saying, people give me shit for that, saying I sound like I'm full of shit. And I'm not, man. I dig it. Love. Everybody should have a love of their life with them, because we all get old, dude. All you young bucks out there, you're gonna get old, and you're gonna want a woman to be there with you. Because,
years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 30 years old. He'll be 29 in December.
Oh, wow. You're just a baby, son. Jesus. I didn't know. I thought you were my age, man. We're sitting over here talking this stuff. It's like, it sounds like, he's talking my language. All right, let's kind of shift gears. All right, so anything else about your military history that you want to illuminate here?
I was 4 years active duty, and I was 8 years reserves. Most of the countries I went to, I was in the reserves. So the 30 different countries, I was mostly in reserves. I actually got to go to Katrina. We were supposed to drive Route 10, but the vehicles we had, we could actually go into 9th Ward, some locations in the 9th Ward. And I'll never forget this. This is in the 9th Ward, there's a water moccasin riding the wave from our truck. I could have reached out my arm and grabbed it. It was just riding the wave of the truck. That's how deep the water was.
Wow.
I was driving a PLS. A M1074, I think it was, or a 5. It had a 5-ton crane on it. And we had supplies for a hospital.
Cool.
So that was kind of fun. That was kind of weird. I mean, that place was.
What's the craziest thing that you did or what happened while you were there?
The craziest thing was the gangs at night. I mean, what a lot of people don't realize is there was a lot of firefights between the gangs and the military. And there was actually some, like, helicopters were actually sometimes getting shot at, and the National Guard, you would see them light up a building or two with a M1 with a minigun, the M134. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and
well, we're going to get to the A10, you know. Everybody, all right. So, Gunfox's avatar is a front shot of the nose of an A10
Rothschild.
Yes.
A10-2 Thunderbolt.
Yes.
The Warthog.
Yeah.
The symbol of the Warthog is me paying homage to the aircraft that allowed me to be where I am today.
Mm.
If it wasn't for an A-10, the A-10 crews, I would not be here.
Because they're what's called ground support, okay, and they fly around, do what's called loitering, and, you know, because they have to be able to do that and not use a lot of fuel. It's just a plane that was basically designed around the gun on it, which is a 30 millimeter Gatling gun. I think it's the Gal 8. I want to say
Gal 8.
Yeah.
And here's the story of the A-10. And the Gal 8 is not small.
It's bigger than Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a photograph of that somewhere.
Yeah. And someone made a gun, the Gal 8, and went to Rothschild and said, "Build me a plane around it."
Mm-hmm.
It's literally they did. They got a gun and they built the plane around it.
Right, it put a titanium tub in it to protect the pilot, and
bulletproof. I think that bulletproof canopy too.
Yes. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna quickly download this picture and show everybody, because you won't believe it until you see it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this aircraft is only a few post-World War II aircraft that can take an EMP and not affect the aircraft.
Exactly.
The B-52 is the other aircraft that can take an EMP. It can literally take a nuclear strike, not like a direct hit, mind you, but be within so many miles and still safely,
Right.
and lose all electronics. It will still fly. It will still fly.
Yeah, and they're really an homage to the Thunderbolt, the P-47 from World War II, which was basically became a ground attack plane, but it was all what word am I looking for? It was an all-purpose basically vehicle. They use it as a escort for bombers, and it was a huge fucking plane. They talk about the cockpit being one of the most comfortable cockpits they've ever sat in. These pilots love their plane because there was a saying in World War II: if you want to get the girls, fly a Mustang. If you want to get home alive, you fly a P-47. And I'm really a big buff on all that stuff, man. I'm a huge World War II nut. Gunny's specialty is what word am I looking for? Is the era between the wars, which a lot of stuff. Period. Yeah, the interwar period, exactly. All right.
Yeah, and that, I mean, if you want to read some really interesting stuff, read the geopolitical politics of the interwar period and how it actually set up World War II.
All right, one second. I'm showing an image to everybody of the main gun that's on the A10, and sitting next to a Volkswagen. It's actually a little bit bigger than a Volkswagen bulk-wise. So, wanted to make sure y'all saw that because that's impressive as fuck to me. I don't know about you.
And here's the other interesting part. The A10 does not spit out the brass. They do not spit out the brass.
No, they keep it. Yeah, exactly.
You know why they keep it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why they keep it?
For reloads?
Nope.
For
ballast.
Oh, ballast. Wow. That makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Ballast.
Yeah,
because if they ejected it, it would throw the plane out of whack.
Exactly.
The A10, it could lose it can partially lose almost a wing. It can lose an engine. It can lose one of the back ailerons. It could lose the entire hydraulic system. None of that stuff matters. But if that gun is not evenly distributed,
mm-hmm.
that plane will actually have a very hard time flying and landing.
Yes, absolutely.
It has to be
because
balanced.
of the design. I mean, it's one of the ugliest airplanes I've ever invented. I mean, I've ever seen. You know, along with the Su-25 Russian aircraft, they're both ugly as fuck, but they do what they're supposed to do. And somebody, all right, so they said they should have named it the Dragon. Well, there was the nickname of some Afghanis. They called it the Scream of the Dragon when they would fire that thing because it was like, it's crazy, loud fucking noises. Yeah, depleted uranium shells, exactly. Everybody knows their shit on this stuff. I'm proud. I'm proud to know you people. I salute you. All right, so let's kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about, all right, so with the military theme in mind, what is your favorite war movie?
Oh. Favorite war movie? I would have to either say The Longest Day or The Bridge Too Far.
Oh wow, yeah, great movie. That's Ian McShane's in that too. A lot of people don't know that, but
Sean Connery's in that.
Sean Connery, yep.
A lot of good actors were in that. And it's based on Operation Market Garden.
Market Garden,
doomed to fail.
Yeah,
dude. Market was the airborne. Garden, I believe, was the 8th armor that rolled up there. That was supposed to be in Arnhem within 72 hours, like 48 hours.
Right.
On a single road. And a lot of military strategists say it actually prolonged the war by about 6 months.
Amazing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because if they would have let Patton and a few armored divisions roll, they would have been across the Rhine and probably in Berlin or near Berlin by the time the Soviets would have been pushing Germany out of Russia.
Right.
And my grandfather was in was a tanker.
My uncle was part of that, part of Market Garden. He flew a glider.
My grandfather
flew a Waco. Yeah.
His company was sent north. They didn't participate in Operation Market Garden, but they were there were just there in case the Germans counterattacked.
Mm.
Not from the Dutch, but from Germany itself. I'm not sure if up there is the Ardennes or not, but that's where they were, and it was only like a company. They only detached a company up there of Shermans. And his tank was actually he was one of the first tanks on the beach in Normandy.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he drove a D-Day, a DD tank.
Oh wow, floaty.
Yep.
Yeah. Half of them didn't make it, man.
Well, a lot of them didn't make it.
Yeah, I know.
90% of them didn't make it. And it was a flawed design because they tested it in calm, shallow waters.
Right, not in the ocean.
Test it. Yeah, they didn't test it in the ocean. And he was.
Sorry, I'm laughing, but that was just
first wave.
My God, yeah.
He wasn't the first wave. He was like the third wave of tanks. And so he goes, yeah, as soon as we got in, we were already bailing water. we had these little his tank had a leak, so they already had a mop bucket that they would scoop and throw out. So what they would do is the loader would he was the tank commander. What he would do is his loader would fill the bucket and then lift it up to him, and he would empty it and lower it back down to him. So those two were doing with the water, while the driver and the co-driver focused on getting the tank out of the water. So that was kind of fun.
I bet.
Some of the stories he said was very interesting. Some of the tanks, the crews would share women sometimes. He said the Austrian women were very interesting.
Oh man! All right, so we talked about your favorite war movie. What was your favorite military TV series, or mini series?
Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers is excellent, man. That's the right answer, people. In case you didn't know. Also, Generation Kill was okay, man. I thought.
TV show, I would have to say Hogan's Heroes.
That's right, man. The old classic. I see nothing. That's right. Schultz. My sister named her dog Schultz after that character. You made her laugh so much.
Unfortunately, that show was cut short. They were going to do another 2 seasons, but Bob Crane, who on the part-time was a gay porno star.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was shot and killed.
Scandalous. Yeah, and then was murdered.
Yeah. Yeah, he was murdered. A lot of people didn't realize that.
Yeah, I think there's a movie about that, and I can't remember who plays him, but I think there's a movie out there anyway. I don't have it. I used to have that shit at the tip of my tongue. So I was thinking about playing a game here, but I didn't know you weren't like a big fan of the naval shit. But I do have like some.
Naval stuff. I know some things about ships, but I mean, I actually went to the coolest thing I got to do was the service member memorial for Arizona.
Right.
And they read the names of all the sailors that were killed and all the service members that were killed during the Pearl Harbor attack. It's only for U.S. service members and veterans. It's not open to the public during December 7th. In the morning, it is veterans and active duty military only, or military only. And what they do is you go out to the Arizona, and it's a memorial service, and so it's like going to a church almost, and they read the names, and every time they read a name, they strike the bell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one of the coolest things I got to do.
Well, it's an honor to be. I can imagine. All right, so I've got some questions here. Before we get to some of this other stuff. All right, I'm going to give you a nickname of an aircraft carrier and see if you can tell me which one it is. All right. This aircraft carrier was nicknamed the Hand Job.
I think that was Hancock.
Yes. USS Hancock. Let's see. What is the Bonnie Dick?
Bellevue.
No, the Bonhomme Richard, or the Bonhomme Richard, which was.
Oh, the Bon.
Yeah, they just. What did they just? They just.
Scrapped that.
They scrapped it. They just scrapped it, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the Connie? That should be easy.
Connie. Oh. No, it's not the Yorktown. It's not the Hornet. It's not the Enterprise. It could be Roosevelt.
That's the Constellation. It's USS Constellation.
Oh, Constellation.
Yeah.
You said aircraft carrier.
This is Vietnam era. This is CV. Yeah. And or the Big E or the Gray Ghost.
Yeah, that's Enterprise.
That's right, the classic
CV6 Enterprise. CV6 Enterprise, not the new Enterprise, but CV6 Enterprise.
Yep, and then the 6.5 was the one that made it a night capable. The Valley Forge. Let's see, I can't remember. It's like it was. I don't know. I just always love these like nicknames for aircraft. You know, the F4 was nicknamed the Rhino. The A6 it was A7 was nicknamed the Slough, which stands for Little Ugly Fucker, or the Short Little Ugly Fucker. That's what it stands for. And Buff is a B-52, which stands for Big Ugly Fat Fucker. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the H model is that.
Mm-hmm.
There is actually extreme pushback with the Air Force right now, because you have these idiots that think that are taking the JF-35 homocock, that think this jet can do everything under the God's sun, which it can't. I mean, this project should have been canned. It's over budget by billions of dollars. It's almost like the offspring of the stealth fighters.
Mm.
Like a lot of test pilots were injured in accidents.
God,
Thank God no one was killed.
Yeah, a lot of those aircraft are, what they call widowmakers, man.
Yeah.
Trying
to. It was kind of funny. I was talking to an Air Force pilot who's retired, and he said, and he was told he just recently retired. He just recently got out, and he actually they gave him a choice: learn to fly F-35 or retire. He goes, "I'm retiring." He goes, "I'm not flying that thing."
Right.
He goes, "I'll fly an A-10 all day. I'll fly a C-5, but I'm not flying the JF-35. I'm not flying that thing."
Oh man, yeah. Well, yeah, that's a very controversial platform, and they just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, man.
Yeah.
And
he goes, and recently the Pentagon released, they did a scenario, a war simulation between the U.S. and China, and they got their asses handed to them. Now the details are classified, so we don't know what the whole thing was, but they lost. That's all we know, and they lost big. My thinking is, now this is just my thinking. It's my guesswork. I'm guessing here. What happened was the Chinese Navy was defeated within a week, but the F-35 lost air dominance, and the F-22s were just bombarded. They were overtaxed. And we don't have a lot of F-22s either.
No, we don't.
And we can't rebuild them. If an F-22 is lost, that's done. That's it. We can't rebuild it. And so there's talk about actually bringing back the F-23 program to update the F-23 and build that.
Well, I mean, if you see the new Russian SU, was it 59 or 57? It's a it's a direct copy of that bird, man, of that design. And and the Japanese have a working model that it's not in production or anything, but they wanted to, I guess, build one. That came out like last year. It was like,
the thing is, the problem with the Russians and China is they can steal the technology, but they don't know how to implement it.
Well, here's the deal. All right, so China's quote stealth air force is not stealth at all. I'm watching news out of India where they're showing that it's all a paper tiger, man. Yeah.
And the thing with China is it doesn't have the engines are just not there.
Right.
They're actually using Russian engines in it.
Right. And a lot of it has to do with the construction too, the metal alloy, the micro strength of it and shit.
It's tofu. It's like tofu. It's like they're building projects. It's like tofu.
Yeah.
There's so much corruption in China that what a lot of people don't realize is there's a lot of buildings that are just crumbling and falling apart. I did link this news article in. It was I think like 1 or 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. The PLA actually blew up a dam and killed about 25,000 people. they flooded a city and killed about 25,000 people.
Well, and then they have a nuclear accident, some kind of Chernobyl-like thing that they're just like, don't look over here, man. You don't.
Yes, that was on China Uncensored. They did a story on it. And it's like a European Chinese thing, and Europe, and I forget the European company, and they're like, well, you guys need to do that. And China's like, oh, it's fine. Well, what they're doing is they're just raising the limits of fine.
Right. All right. So, all right. I'm going back to my question pages here. All right. So, do you have any collections or any strange collections, as Rebecca Fairley would ask?
Yes.
What do you got?
I have a gun collection.
Okay. What's your favorite?
It would have to be my my AR-15s, or my Barrett Rec 7. I do have a Barrett M82A1. I do have an Anta 2020, Antec 2020, I think it is. Anzo. Maybe it's an Anzo. Hold on. It's an Anzo. That's a 2020. That's a 20 millimeter anti-tank gun.
Dude. Fair enough. Gunny's loaded, man. He's ready to roll. I'm just saying. If shit heats up, well, I know where I'm going. I'm going to your house, bro.
I have two types of ammo. The cheapest ammo for it costs per round $250. The most expensive costs $750 a round. And the most expensive is a tungsten core carbide tipped Sabat round.
Sweet.
Anti-tank. It's an anti-tank round.
All right, so all right. So let's go ahead and do questions since they're popping up. Becca wants to know what your favorite flavor of ice cream is.
Vanilla.
All right, and Object Hates asks your favorite military aircraft. I think we kind of covered that.
A-10. Yeah. I do like the Nighthawk. The Nighthawks are the grandfather of stealth aircraft. And the Soviets couldn't track them. But
it scared the shit out of them, man.
Oh, it did.
The
Serbs were the only one to actually shoot one down. And the guy who actually shot it down was extremely intelligent. Like he, and it took him about 6 months to, and what really allowed him to do it was pilot complacency.
So
that's what really jump started the Russian and Chinese stealth program, was that shoot down. Much like their air-to-air missile program was from an M9 Sidewinder that failed to detonate when it hit.
It sure did. And they built all their shit came out of that. It's amazing, But that was like what I want to say that was before Vietnam, wasn't it?
No, that was at the end of Vietnam. It
was a Vietnam thing. Because I do, I definitely read that for sure.
Do you know that the Russian Bear? What aircraft do you think the Russian Bear was a copy of?
B-52. I mean, B-29. Nope. B-29?
B-29s.
Yeah,
yep.
Absolutely. You can tell, and they're loud as hell. You'll hear them motherfuckers coming.
You can actually pick them up on sonar.
All
They
right.
can track them by sonar.
All right.
Buoys.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I heard. All right. So what's the worst place on earth you've ever been stationed?
Ooh. Someplace in Africa.
Okay, let's see. What did the last election make you question the validity of previous ones as well as future ones?
Yes.
What is your favorite music album? These are all from Object I Hate.
ZZ Top.
Nice. All right, let's see.
I am kind of a Deadhead too.
Oh, wow, cool. Jam bands.
Mm-hmm.
I like a good jam, dude. I've been listening to a lot of this band called King Weed.
My dad's a huge Deadhead.
All right, let's see. All right, so Becca wants to know, when are you going to move to Texas so she can babysit your young'uns?
Hopefully in like maybe a year or two, maybe 3 years.
Wow. We're going to make that happen then, aren't you? All right, how's the healing going? And she says she's ready for you to go back to work. Becca.
Healing is going fine. They're thinking in 3 weeks they'll be able to remove the metal splints. They have there's 2 metal bars on my leg.
Oh, Bubba.
Well, what happened was I was checking the tire pressure on a trailer, and a tow motor guy wasn't paying attention. This was his 3rd accident in less than 2 weeks.
God damn. Was he drinking on the job or some shit?
I don't know. He was fired though.
I bet.
And he broke my leg in 3 different places, and I have a 1-inch deep by 6-inch gash on my back.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. All right. Madness always asks this. What do you think about Barbara Horvat, also known as Barbara for You to See or Barbara for You to Relax? The Barb? Barb 2.0? You know who that is? Her name is, she's Barbara for You to See. It was her original name. She's just this Slovenian girl who came to America and been a YouTube star for quite a while. Funny, you know.
She's I know who you're talking about now. She seems like a nice girl.
Yeah.
Like she seems like a good wife. A good wife material.
All right. What's your favorite war video game? She is a wifey material, I believe.
War game. I would have to say Call of Heroes. Company of Heroes.
Company of Heroes. Killer. All right, 2-part question. We have both been in a lot of the same chats over the years, James Colley says. With that said, who is your favorite person in chats and why is it me? Lol. Good question, man. That's right, James Colley. All right, we salute you. Gunny and I are both saluting you right now. All right. Let's see. Well, we know you got some scars and shit. What about tats or piercings?
No tats or piercings.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Just time's flying by over here. Let's see. All right. So if you could go back in time and spend a week with anyone, who would it be and why?
George Washington. Why?
Yeah.
Because I would like to pick his brain on his, like, this is after the Revolutionary War, on his thoughts of how the army did and what his thoughts are to improve the Continental Army.
Well, that would be a great question to ask him, wouldn't it? I think that's a great question. In 40 years, what do you think people will be nostalgic for?
I'm gonna say probably phones. Probably phones.
Interesting. All right, and this is all right. So now we're at the Lipton or pivot questions or pivot questions actually. James Lipton used to do this show called Inside the Actor Studio, and he interviewed, everybody big, the good ones and and the popular ones, right? And he would always ask every one of them this set of 10 questions. And the idea is kind of like it's kind of like a word association or really just say the first thing that comes to your head, right? And it's a little bit rapid fire-ish. We don't have to be too rapid. But what is your favorite word is the first question.
Howdy.
Say that again. I didn't quite hear it. Your mic got cut off.
Howdy.
Howdy?
Yep.
All right. What's your least favorite word?
Communist.
I think we're going to be friends, Money. All right. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, and emotionally? Get you fired up.
Firearms.
Sweet. What turns you off?
Politics.
Here. What's your favorite curse word?
Although, damn it's getting up there too.
What sound or noise do you love?
Gunfire. Well, racing actually. The sounds of speed. I really love that.
Yeah, from the driver's perspective, right? Or are you talking about as a spectator?
Kind of like a spectator. I love the.
Oh, okay,
sound.
yeah, like NASCAR.
And Ferraris have a real nice sound. You can actually tell the difference between a European engine and an American engine because the American engine is like raw power, like that big block V8.
Right. Whereas the European designs tend to have more finesse to them.
It's a lot more. It's a lot higher pitch. There's a lot more RPMs. It's a lot more RPMs. It's a higher RPM
so
than the American.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Mortar fire, explosions.
Kind of makes sense to me. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Pilot.
What profession would you not like to do?
Teacher.
And if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Welcome, here's a beer.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So we've kind of gone through the questions. What's your favorite comic that was based on war? That's a great question, actually.
Gomer Pyle.
Oh, sweet. I wasn't going to say comic book. It was Weird War Tales for me. I always loved the spooky shit. What's the worst war movie ever? Have you ever seen?
That would be the War of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
it just came out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I couldn't finish the damn thing. I couldn't finish it. It was that bad.
It's definitely a popcorn romp that assumes you've been lobotomized. So, like everything else is coming out on streaming platforms, yeah.
A War of Tomorrow, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Military, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Why would you go back in time to get people who are going to be dead to fight in a war? It's because you just changed history right then. If they get killed then, you know what I'm saying? So, that's, the time shit, man. Unless you really are not a thinker, don't write about time shit because There's always holes in it and stuff.
At least make it plausible.
Well, all right. So Bullwinkle says the old Battle of the Bulge, man, where they were using like American tanks and shit as German tanks.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I can't remember what tank they used. Sheridan? Not a Sheridan. Not a. Oh shit! What was it? I don't know.
I think it was the M20, the M28, or the M26 Bulldog.
Yeah, yes, exactly. The Walker Bulldog, exactly. All right, so we're back kind of at the YouTube now. And who would you say is a criminally undersubscribed YouTuber that you would like to promote yourself?
Fine Press.
Indeed. She's outstanding. And she's a good friend, man. And yeah, I recommend everybody subscribe to Blind Press, definitely, and check her out. Especially, man, she's on Twitch. And I think she's doing on YouTube too. She's killing lots of motherfuckers because she's insanely good at Mortal Kombat.
And she's blind too.
And she is truly blind. She has zero sight ability. All right. So, what about YouTubers that you think is way overhyped?
I would have to say Crowder, the Young Turks. Those types of people. Tim Pool is way overhyped.
Right. All right. So, all right. Do you have any? Are you planning on putting out any content yourself?
I'm putting most of my content right now on BitChute because I can easily upload it.
Oh wow!
So, a lot of the track videos are going up on BitChute right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't get the YouTube to work. I can't upload to YouTube on the phone.
With the phone, because you have to have 1,000 subs. They're assholes about that shit.
Yeah. So I'm doing that on BitChute. My BitChute is like, because I take video from the corner, and like I don't live stream. I just take videos.
What's your account name on BitChute? And I'll put a link to it in the description.
I linked it to you in the DMs.
Oh,
Gunfox.
Oh, I fucking missed it. God damn it. I hate it when I do that, right? Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I grab that. Okay. Man. It was like yesterday when you threw me that smoking gun article, the home castration thing. That was so funny. It's like oh, there it is. All right, my bad. All right, I'll put that right here. All right, I got the copy, and what I'll do is you can edit live. That's what's one thing that's cool about YouTube, other than all the other bullshit you have to put up with, is you can edit while you're going live, and you know how much I love to do that kind of shit. And there we go, BitChute, fam. It is in the description. Hold on. 3, 2, and if you refresh your page, you should be able to see it.
I'll be going up next weekend because NASCAR's up there.
Yeah.
So, yep. I'll try to take some videos, but they won't be posted until Monday or Tuesday afterwards.
Right. Right. And all right, so got a final word. It's close. It's time to close, man. I'm at the end of my questions, as they say. It's been a little bit weird, and I apologize for the lack of smoothness. This has been, like a snafu, as they say. That's the military thing. Situation normal, all up, all fucked up.
Yeah.
And all right, so
or Charlie or Charlie Foxtrot.
That's right, Charlie Foxtrot, cluster fuck. So yeah. Give a last word for the chat, and then we'll call it. We'll call it. Whoa! Hold on. Before that, we do that, we're gonna go to the other room and now say goodbye to everybody. God. Oh, my fat fingers are mashing the wrong buttons here. Fuck. All right. But I'm going to let you say goodbye because I'm out.
Have a good one, folks.